Well, my solution is bring
They
back
need
the
to bring
rapid
back
response.
the hand.
No,
and
see,
the
if
Rangers.
that was
So
a
I just
levy,
came home last week Monday and then so much stuff happening. I work on a cruise ship. I'm just on vacation.
Not everyone that is a prison that is guilty, but we have a university center criminals.
The Jazz Festival is done, so you know what that means. The Bacchanal begins. It's carnival time. The radio waves are abuzz with new soca and groovy tunes. The Calypso tents are opening this week as the 10 pillars prep for the fun. The parties have started. The mass camps are open all night with people gluing, cutting and bending. The revelers are out on the street, slimming down to fit into the costumes and get the cardio up to par. And the bands are launching, showing off their themes and costumes for this year. There's just one problem: the prices. It seems to enjoy carnival this year, you must have a money tree growing in your backyard. Hi, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez and welcome to another episode of Solutions. Answers from the people, simple solutions offered by Solutions. So, you're a regular reveler. You've jumped carnival every year for the last 10 years. But this year, it seems you're gonna have to jump in the oldest band since carnival started in St. Lucia, Roadside Watchers. You just can't afford that high-priced costume. So we asked the people, what is your solution to enjoying carnival without breaking the bank? Let's hit the streets and hear what the people had to say.
Just do a bare back bun. Your shorts, you buy your Ross, you buy hobbies and just do a bun, shirtless bun. Because at the end of the day, I pay $800 for a costume. By the second, they have no clothes on me, just a short. So I have a shirtless bun for the guys. $200 just for your rum, yeah?
well, less money, no carnival. No money, no carnival. Because I'll not have a little bit of money and go to carnival with it. It doesn't make no sense.
So your solution is?
My solution is stay home and ban carnival because the economy is bad enough to have carnival costumes, 1,000 and change, and the next month is school. People have to buy their school books, so my opinion is just ban carnival.
Staying at home, that's it, yeah. Watch it on TV maybe.
I wouldn't advise people do it unless you have a fixed source of income. If you don't, well, my advice to you is just try to keep yourself on a level. Yes, I am going to have fun. All right, thank you.
We're having a good carnival without spending a lot of money. First, I figured out I'd stay home. Stay home, buy a bottle, and more or less watch it from there because choice going for free. My solution.
Well, basically, like you enjoy carnival with money, so without money, like there is no use for carnival. So, like you buy like food and stuff, like drinks and your costume, like to have a good time. So, yeah, that's all. Yeah.
I used to jump carnival years ago. It was with Secra. Our costume used to be locally made. I would recommend that we continue spending money and do our costumes locally. It can be a lot cheaper. The monies will stay right here. Our seamstresses will probably enjoy some of the returns out of carnival instead of everything being imported from overseas.
Well, the way I do enjoy that is just participate in a few activities, and it will just be enjoyable for the time. Just a few activities, and that would be it, and I good. You understand?
Not really take part, but I'll take my children. So what I will do is I don't have money, but I want to take them out. So I'll walk with their juice, walk with their snacks. Everybody take a backpack, stuff in it with everything you need to eat, so we don't have to spend money. Because we still want to go, we still want to attend, we still like it, we love it. Okay, that's my suggestion.
The whole purpose of carnival is celebrating, and if you have in celebration, you can't spare expense, so there's no savings on that. You just have to spend, it's unavoidable.
Are you jumping?
Oh no, I broke.
I think you should take down on your alcohol intake. That is something that St. Lucians spend a lot of money on. Take down on your alcohol intake. And of course, shop around for the bands. There are bands that are cheap. People are accustomed jumping with the bigger bands, and we know that the bigger bands are expensive. There are smaller bands, and you can enjoy yourself just as much as if you join in a big band. Jump in a smaller band, pay less money. The shows. Again, consume less alcohol at the shows. And don't try to go to every single show. You don't have to. There are people that are party lovers, party goers, but limit your shows. Limit the shows that you go to.
just don't have costumes, just go on the road alone with nothing, I guess. No idea. No, not really. I haven't thought about it. I guess the costumes are pretty expensive, really. I think a little too expensive. I think maybe they could try and find a way to make it a little cheaper. But otherwise, I mean, t-shirt bands, I guess, which is what it's going to end up being. And all these people who are having these glamorous costumes will lose out. I guess most people will go into t-shirts. You can still jump up. It's all about whining and having fun. So whatever you have on you, it doesn't matter. You can be naked.
It's no harm spending a little money if you want to enjoy something. Yeah, you can always spend a little money because for your enjoyment, it's okay.
If you don't spend the money, you can enjoy Carnival. Carnival is money. You have to spend money for that.
Yeah, well, first of all, I don't really support Carnival. But the message of Jesus Christ could be brought across while people, are walking the streets. We could have a flag saying, Jesus Christ is Lord of our life. Repent and be baptized. And then people will come to the understanding of the Lord Jesus Christ as our Savior. He is the one that could make things better. And then the monies will go into something else. The monies could come to me to feed the poor. The monies could go elsewhere, channeling the money to create opportunities. So all the money that they're using in Carnival, they could take that money and give it to the less fortunate. Yeah.
Right, that might be a very difficult thing not to spend a lot of money. But at the same time, I think what people need to do is more people get together, let's say in a group, and wherever they want to go or the restaurant or whatever they decide to do, chip together or maybe bring their own food. I believe something like that might be what it's going to take to prevent people from spending a lot of money. Now, for Carnival, usually some of us who are abroad, we come down because we want to support the island, which is St. Lucia. So I don't know how much I can tell you more in reference to what should be done. But that's one of the things. People get together. That's like carpooling. Instead of one person go to work, the economy is bad. Maybe you get another 3 people. So ease up on the gas and do those kind of things.
The young girls that love it, they will enjoy it. They don't mind spending how much money. Once they love it, they have to spend the money.
These were just some of the solutions from the people. We'll take a break now. When we come back, more solutions. Welcome back to Solutions. We asked the people for their solution to enjoy Carnival without spending an arm and a leg.
I have to admit, this is a very difficult question. Also, it's a very serious question. Because number one, I do know that Solutions love Carnival very much. And they don't want anybody to take away the Carnival from them. But it still leaves us with how to enjoy that Carnival without spending a lot of money as the question states. So what I'm saying is that one has to go into the computer very deeply and come up with an appropriate response to such a question. I would think the best thing that one has to do is, of course, we could always budget, but maybe some people, no matter how they try to budget, they'll still end up spending a lot of money. So I think what we have to do, what we really and truly have to do, is find an alternative, which is either we could get a different company to make our uniforms at a lesser price, or then we could always resort to the ultimate solution of making our own uniforms or costumes.
Well, I think they can reduce the cost of the costumes by probably using local material, like maybe plastic. We have the banana leaves, the dry leaves, and that sort of thing. Yeah, that would cut down on the cost.
Well, if you don't have money, don't go in Carnival. So if you have money to sponsor, if you have to sponsor or you have somebody to sponsor you, then you enjoy Carnival. But if you don't have, you can still enjoy Carnival without having money. You don't need money to enjoy Carnival. Right? At the end of the day, You do your own costume and that's it.
Have their own costumes, have their own buckets and stick and do their own music. Well, you don't spend any money.
But of course, if you don't jump, you'll save money. Just now, school closing, then you will have school books, school fees, all these kind of things. So then what you will do? After when you go and jump carnival, you'll be household asking people, can I have a book, can I have this, can I have that? No, never. Should have money, save your money.
Well, every party we go to, we must spend money. So if they don't spend money, they can enjoy because they have to buy drink, they have to buy everything that is make them feel happy in the event. Yeah, you have to because you cannot go and don't drink a beer, you cannot go and don't eat.
That is definitely out of the question because I mean the amount of deaths that you have to go through, the amount of things that you have to, too many activities before the carnival itself, right? The costume itself is the last part of it. And at the end of it all, after the carnival, you still have to spend money. There's no way. Yeah?
How they won't spend money by it's carnival? Once a year is carnival, so they have to spend money to enjoy themselves because better days are here. Jumping? No, I never have the habit of jumping, but I'm selling for them.
To me, my solution is that to enjoy carnival, you have to spend money. The more you spend money, the more you enjoy carnival. That's the way it is. Because every time you spend a cent, the music go up in your head, you spend another $50 again. When the $50 you still have more, you spend again until it finish. And you're saying you enjoy a nice carnival. Well, when the other day comes, then you'll think for the next day. Because you have to think for now, you can think for tomorrow because sometimes you're going to sleep and you may never rise tomorrow. Thank you. You enjoy it while it lasts. Thank you very much.
That was our first set of solutions. Let's go to our next question. More talk of money, but from a different angle this time. It seems people are finding creative ways to deal with the high cost of living, but they're not always legal. We heard talk last week of a report from investigations into the use of funds allotted for local government, and it was not very pleasing. We asked the people, what is your solution to corruption in the public service? Let's go to the streets.
Okay, well, if you're running a business, you should have an accountant general, and that person is really the one to make sure that he or she knows where the funds are going to and how it is spent and everything. And if you cannot control your home, you cannot control anything. So it makes no sense by those guys saying like if they're talking about their misuse of funds. I mean, you should know how to spend the money, and if the country doesn't know how to spend you spending the money, then you're doing something wrong. Well, the solution, get the right set of people. Put your trust in someone that you know that will do the job properly.
I do believe a few years back we were warned about there being no accountability in government, and nobody took heed to that advice from, I think, Bloomfield, I think it was, some years back. I think if they do wrong, jail the backsides, period. You know, whether it's taxpayers' money or whatever, jail their asses. Case closed.
All the fellas that's involved in that, if you take money, you have to pay it back. If you can pay it back, well, something have to be done because right now we're going through a situation that is them fellas that cause it for me, is them that cause it because if all that money wastes, then you cannot blame the government that in power now for what you do. So so they have to bring them to court and make them pay it.
My personal opinion is that they should try and track down the money, where it went to, and try and make them replace it. If it's a corruption thing, if it's something perpetuating the government there, they have to be accountable for what they're doing with the people's money. If they cannot replace it, seize what they have. Take what they have. We have to replace the thing. Watch how many coast guys in place there. We have no money. And still they try and prevent us from having a little something. So, seize what they have. Check it. Try and put back the money. We need the money. I need the money too.
Okay, generally my disposition on all the rhetoric where funds have been used and not there's no accounting or what have you. First of all, what we have to understand is that in the past administration, the manner in which the Taiwanese funds were distributed, it was distributed directly into each constituency, and the ministers were earmarking projects that were beneficial to the constituencies like sporting facilities, recreational facilities like community centers and what have you. What I think needs to be done is more or less they should go around and ask the people whether or not the money filtered to them. At this point, there is a total different scenario where there is the consolidated fund, and so since that is the mannerisms of this administration, they should not, however, compare it to the past administration, because I don't think that it had anything to do with theft or misuse of funds. I think it's just a point of them going back and trying to stray away from what is actually happening now. Now we don't see that much money being generated by the Taiwanese, and we do not have any investment, so St. Lucia is more or less dwindling. What they should be concentrating on is how we are using the resources that we have now and not the resources that have gone 5 years ago.
Well, after a thorough investigation has been done, the culprits, the people responsible for it, should be prosecuted and should be put in prison or wherever the rehabilitation is supposed to take place.
Honestly, I think all of them should go to jail, because you see, St. Lucia is a place like people don't take things serious enough. That's the whole thing. You know, everything happening in St. Lucia is just like a joke. People don't take things serious enough. We need to get laws in place and penalize them big guys, because like you poor, then that pass under the table. The big people just, you know, I mean, what I'm saying, you poor, they hit you. But then them big people, everything they do is just like, you know, you never hear nothing. Even if you try to do something, you have no support. We need to stop this thing. That's what we need to do in St. Lucia. And get things, you know, be serious on whatever we're doing. Like, for instance, lawyers. You pay them to do things, and then they all want societies. Like they cover for each other and they don't do anything, and you self paying your money, and then at the end of the day you end up walking away with nothing.
More solutions coming up after this break. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Solutions on Choice TV. We ask the people for a solution to corruption in the public service.
What I feel should be done for misuse funds is you should have a penalty for the one responsible if it has to be refunded, or if it is an enhancement fee, or if it is a contract, or what is it is of negligence, or that it is misplaced, or what it is has not been consolidated. And I feel it should be refunded back, or they should use a way of measuring it per annum or per share, or it could be like departure in share or fee, or whatever way we should approach that. But any way of misusing funds, I say there should be a penalty for it. Am I right? And if I have to continue again saying, I would like to, I don't know exactly what department that has happened, but if it is something is a contract, I feel if it is negligence or petty ignorance. So I believe there should be a penalty. There in California, it could be a fine of either $25 or probably 4 days or 2 weeks in prison.
We have to look at this very serious. We have a solution and put our head together. And let's get everything together for the next election. Because if the government is not good, we have to change it. The same way they take out the other one, they put this one, and let's look at forward for the future, for the young people and ourselves.
They cannot catch up, they cannot update when you need something, you understand? And that's how corruption problems and issues comes along. And people want to get upset. And I agree when people get upset, because if you file in, or if you contribute money or funds or whatever, and you keep the proper record for the proper time, or you document it right away, when that person come or that individual comes for the next day, you know you'll get that. But if you lazy fair, you showing a lazy action or lazy attitude to the work, you'll always have corruption. You understand? So I believe what my solution is that if we put a proper document, document that the system in place at the right time, we will not have all this corruption, and everything will be accounted for. Okay? Thank you very much.
In the town council, they have people that stand for this money, responsible. And the government, all of them have what they response. So the government themselves cannot tell you nothing about this because they put people in charge of it. Okay? So they are not the one to blame. Blame the people that had the money in charge. Well, take them to court for them to say what it is.
Arrest them. Arrest them. That's what they have to do. They have to arrest them. Okay?
Take a big step on that, right? Because too much things are happening in this country and it's undercover, right? So government have to take step and investigate the matter to see what. Well, the penalty, whoever they get caught shall face it hard, right? Yeah, for now.
That happens so often with government. I want to be honest with you. They usually, I work for government in the United States. I believe in government, but there is a limit to it. They will tell you what you want to hear, and when you ask the question, it looks like they take the fifth. I don't know, we don't know, we're going to try to find out and we'll let the people know. So it's a very, very difficult thing to find out where money that's supposed to go maybe for one project and the project never get underway, and to find out where the money went. Because you have so many different, I would say, little contractors that the money has been given to, and no one really know where the money really spent. And finally, I want to tell you, the contractors themselves, they probably start the project, and after they start the project, oh, it costs more money than we thought it was going to be. So a whole lot of government money have been spent or wasted. And believe me, a lot of time, the government itself really cannot tell you how the money was spent and why it wasn't spent the way it was supposed to be spent. The solution are the people. The people supposed to get to their government and get behind them and let them know three things. It's supposed to be a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. All right? Now, you don't work for the government. The government work for you. So you demand the things that's supposed to be told to you, be told to you from the government. If we just speak and we don't go to the right channel of where we're supposed, no action, nothing's going to be done. So I think that's the thing. Let the government understand that the government is working for you, the people. You don't work for the government, okay? You are the government. Understand that. So that's the solution to me that will be the best for St. Lucia to understand. And more people, here's the thing, I think I'm not been criticizing the people in St. Lucia, not criticism about that. But it seems to me the people themselves need to pull more together than the one day. I'm not using the word division now, but one day and one day and one day is not going to do nothing. Sometimes they say, well, one person can do a lot. That's true too. But the more people you have together, that talk about the same problems that we all face, the better things will happen for all the people. Anything else?
Well, the thing about it, you see, when the small man cannot give an account of misuse of funds, you vole. But when it's the big man, the man up there, you abolis. But as far as I'm concerned, you tout se vole. So something should be put in place from the top from the start to the finishing, and give everybody responsible. Those that are responsible from the start to the finishing. If they have any misuse, if they cannot give an account of the misuse of funds, they all from the start to the beginning should just jail them.
I think they should take them to the law and do what's right. Let the law deal with them. Yes, I mean, it's not, the funds are not your personal, it's not your personal, it's not your personal money, so why misuse it? So that's my solution.
Have to be dealt with, that's all I can say. I mean, there is no way around it, because straight conclusion, whatever and whosoever responsible for these sort of things, they should be accountable for those things. So there is nobody who can say, well, they're above the law or whatever. So once the funds goes out missing, someone has to be paid for it. So basically, that's it.
Anytime it is some big person or some government thing, they're talking about bubble. But when it's a local person like me, it's robbery. So if there is law for me, there should be law for the others. And whichever government that is in office should be held responsible for whoever that leave office that do this kind of things, because we have to make an example. Our children, our young children are being fed on what our leaders do. So the wrong decision our leaders do, it filters down to our children. So as of now, we are praying that our government will take example of what go on, and they will be respectable men. And I pray to God that whoever does it, they will start making an example that when others come, they will learn. It looks like politics have money, that's why everybody running into it. So I pray to God that something is being done, an example is being made, that people like me can learn. When we see money, do not let it fool us, because money is the root of all evil, and misuse of money is another one again.
Well, what I think right now, that the talk is about that they have misuse of funds. But no one knows if it's true, no one knows, because I'm not a professional, I'm not a lawyer. But what I am saying, that is the problem we have in the country. Big men, big people do things and they do escape out of it. If justice is supposed to be served, let justice be served, and everyone that is responsible for the misuse of the funds. It could be the present government, it could be the past government. Any one of them we found guilty for the misuse of funds, we have to do. Because I find that right now, too many politicians and too many ministers is escaping with too many things. Because if it's a poor man like me, I cannot take a lawyer. Ministers bring one another to court, and we have no form of respect. Because when the younger children see every time a minister down bring that one to court, they have no respect for one another. So what role models they are? You understand? So I see in all of them, take them to court, and if justice has to be served, let justice be served. Because the prison is not there for one person alone. Justice is not there for one person alone. Because that country, we need justice in this country. And a lot of ministers, a lot of people coming out with certain things and getting away with it.
Well, what should happen to those people is to use them as an example, so that other persons will not follow suit, you know. You have to, well, I understood that they don't jail government in these countries, but I think those people you have to make an example out of them. That is my opinion about it.
Okay, turn it down, party done. In some countries, corruption in the public service is a crime equal to murder. You are entrusted with the money of the country, money that belongs to everyone in this country, and it has to be used for the development of the country and, by extension, the people of the country. To use that money for your own personal gain means you are stealing from every single person in the country. The punishment should reflect that. Now, I want to jump carnival, be part of all the mass action. Do it just for fun, but if I buy a costume, my bank account will be in the red. And for an unlimited amount of time, being broke will be a ritual for me. Seems I just can't be a happy Lucian reveler this year. The Lucian spirit just not there. Well, it is, but it's just too high priced and have me catching my royal... Oh, okay. That's it for today. If you have something to say, we want to hear. Look out for the Choice TV crew for a chance to present your solution to the country. Now, if you have a burning question you want us to ask the people, we can do that too. Send us an email with your hot burning issue at solution@choice39.tv. That's SOLUCIAN@choice39.tv. Join us again next week for more Solutions.
Discipline them and get them to have an account of every single cent that is spent. The documentaries ought to be there. Then you carry out a survey and find out if this was implemented. If this was implemented, and then you photocopy it, then this is the problem, and cross-examine all them and get them to refund the funds. Then the illegal procedure would be misappropriated. Thank you. But you need to be militant and serious
no messing around. Greetings, no messing around, none of this stuff. So, based on your intelligence and your education, follow the procedures, the principles of it. Thank you. My name is Andrew Cox, alias Batman. It's not a solution. It is the methodology of implementing and correcting misappropriate system. Thanks. Goodbye.
Well, my solution is
They need to bring back the hand.
So I just came home last week Monday and hence so much things happening. I work on a cruise ship. So I just on vacation.
Not everyone that's in the prison that is guilty, but we have a university center criminal